Gavin, this isn't the first significant pledge of US military support.
Yeah, and Joe Biden pointed that out by way of maybe trying to assure the American people that he wasn't allowing all of this to go completely unchecked. He pointed out that even as soon as Russia's aggression began, that America was helping Ukraine to arm and defend itself. And you might even argue, if you were to believe the Russian standpoint, that it is the likes of America offering military assistance to Ukraine which helped to escalate things to the point that there was an invasion now 3 weeks ago. Vladimir Zelensky was appealing to America to help close the skies over Ukraine, but Joe Biden said he wasn't going to do anything necessarily to do that, but he was at least going to try and help Ukraine defend itself even further.
This new package on its own is going to provide unprecedented assistance to Ukraine. It includes 800 anti-aircraft systems to make sure the Ukrainian military can continue to stop the planes and helicopters that have been attacking their people and to defend their Ukrainian airspace. And at the request of President Zelensky, we have identified and are helping Ukraine acquire additional longer-range anti-aircraft systems and the munitions for those systems.
Now, Micheál Martin has been asked at a press conference inside the last hour and a half or so whether there might be any prospect of Ireland doing something similar. Ireland does have a modest but still significant range of attack defence mechanisms that could perhaps be lent to Ukraine, but the Taoiseach says that he simply isn't going to get into that kind of territory. He believes that while there may be a discussion about Ireland's military neutrality in the future, that Ireland's military neutrality would definitely be breached if Ireland were to supply Ukraine with any kind of a lethal aid, and that is why things are going in another direction as far as Ireland's assistance to Ukraine is concerned. The Taoiseach also, however, was asked very pertinently if he believed that the events in Ukraine could cause Ireland or broader Europe to go back into recession.
Well, I can never promise anybody about economic cycles. We're an open exporting economy, and so we export to markets like the United States, like the European Union, that are big markets for us, and if they come under pressure, invariably our companies don't sell as much in terms of European consumers and industry and so on. But the jury is very much out on that.
So the Taoiseach stance there very much being that Ireland is so dependent on the welfare of other economies that if they were to suffer, then Ireland will follow suit. Interestingly, that's a departure from what Paschal Donoghue had to say last week when he still said he foresaw some modest growth in Europe this year in spite of the Ukraine crisis. In that press conference inside the last hour or so, the Taoiseach also asked about the rising number of COVID cases, again topping 1,000 in the country's hospitals. He says he's been in discussions with the CMO and the Minister for Health about all of this, but there has, as of yet, not been any discussion about the prospect of bringing back any restrictions on public gatherings.